not someone who falls in love easily, but when I do, I love with everything I have, which can make breakups and leaving people an incredibly long and painful process. There's a quote I love which says, "Nostalgia is a dirty liar which tricks you into believing the past is better than it was." I've already tried to make this video, but I got kind of emotional, but I feel like I'm in a better place now. I am someone who, because I love so deeply and I am so loyal to a fault to the people in my life, I end up staying in these toxic situationships, but I feel like finally a switch has flipped and I'm here to talk you guys through how I did it and some things that really helped me. So if you feel like you're in that place and you would like some tips on grieving and healing, then stick around. A no contact period is essential. I know how much we want to believe we can be friends with our exes, or we're just going to slowly fade out the contact. It never works. Sure, you can be friends with your ex one day, and there are circumstances where maybe you still have to see them in your day-to-day life. Maybe you live together, but as much as possible, if you cannot go no contact, limit contact. We get a dopamine hit before we reach out or before we check their socials, and we're never ever going to be able to move on when those hormones keep pushing you to do it. What good does it really do you to see what your ex is up to, who they're following, who they're with? I know like what you're really looking for is that reassurance that nothing's going on and that they still love you, but either way, no matter what you find, if you find them up to something that you don't want them to be up to, it doesn't say anything about the way they feel about you, or vice versa. If you see nothing, it doesn't mean that they're hopelessly in love with you still and they're coming back. Nothing on social media is real, we know that by now, so do not use their social media to determine how they feel about you. If you ended things on good terms with your ex, something I would suggest, which I've done before, which is really helpful, is actually asking my ex to block me on social media, because I knew if I blocked them, how easy is it to press unblock? Whereas if they block you, and on Instagram they can block from all accounts that you might make in the future, it's nearly impossible if they have a private account to see what they're up to. As to the trauma of being cheated on, I do not suffer with this problem, because even when I was in a relationship, looking at their social media made me sick to my stomach. But I know it's something so many of us struggle with, is having a little stalk of maybe their new partner or their own socials, and it is no good for you, and it's just going to delay your healing process so much more. Have a really honest conversation with your friends, so that if you're in a bad place and you go to your friends and say, have you seen them recently? What are they up to? Have a conversation where you say, no matter how many times I ask, I do not want to know. When you do this, when you're in a rational and safe headspace, when you feel really low and you're looking for that hit to know what they're doing, if you have your friends supporting you and they do not give in to that, they don't let you use their phones to scroll or message or call on a drunk night out, again, having that support backing you up to go no contact for good will really help. I have written myself a letter about what I want and what I deserve in a future relationship. This way, every time I want to break that no contact, I can read through it and remind myself of what I want, and this person is never ever going to bring me that. So if this is truly what I want, all I'm doing is self-sabotaging and setting myself a step back to actually being on the path I want in life. Both you and I deserve someone who's going to love us so fully, so we cannot be reaching out to someone who is not going to give us that in return, because all we are teaching ourselves is that we don't deserve better and there is nothing better coming. It really is true that when one door closes, another door opens, but until you're willing to accept and fully close that door, the other door is not going to open. And this weird limbo in between is an even worse place to be. So just be brutal and stop all contact right now. This is me holding you accountable. And one last thing on no contact, in a similar vein, journaling everything you want to say. I know we all think we want to tell them how much they've hurt us or how much we miss them or whatever it is. They don't need to know that. at least in the first instance, write a letter, write it in your notes app, voice note it, or even text it to a friend. Hell, even shoot me a DM and vent to me as if I'm your ex. I don't mind. And that way you have got it off your chest, which is going to be really healing for you, but you don't have to take the humiliation and rejection when they don't give you the answer you want or even an answer at all. They don't even deserve to know how you're feeling. It is so embarrassing when you open your heart to someone, tell them how much they hurt you, and they cannot even be bothered to give you the time of day. Don't give someone like that the satisfaction to know how much they hurt you. If you want to text them something really gushy about how much you love and miss them, again, if they felt the same way, they would be doing it back. You will not have to chase the right person for you. Is this how you want your life to go on? Is this how you want your marriage to be? Would not be in this position if this was your person. Trust me on that. Getting rid of those last few ties is something we can put off for a long time, especially us girls who love to steal a t-shirt or a hoodie. It's really hard to let go of those tiny little few physical reminders we have left. For me, something I find a really special and intimate gift is jewelry, and hence I have none on. Rings because of how much they symbolize marriage and commitment. I don't like to wear rings my exes have bought me. Also necklaces because they're close to the heart. So I want to really focus over the next year on buying myself some really good high quality jewelry as a symbol of commitment and love to myself, because I love gold and I would love to wear something that doesn't have a tie to someone else. I also used to keep a teddy on my bed that I used to cuddle with at night, but as it was gifted from an ex, it's just not an energy I need in my space anymore. And I spent the last of my paycheck on a Christmas gift from my ex when I was in a Delulu headspace. It's not refundable because it's homemade, so I'm just going to get rid of it because I don't think any of my friends or family would appreciate a romantic gift. It would not be a video of mine without speaking about meditating. Whenever I get romantically involved with a boy, my spiritual practice sort of falls to the wayside, unfortunately. But meditating in several different ways can really help you go through a breakup. Sometimes just to have a bit of calm away from all the chaotic thoughts, sometimes to really process and grieve those thoughts, or sometimes to sort of align with the universe and get back to that belief that everything is happening for a reason and you are on the right path. Breakups can sometimes get so bad you start to feel very depressed and suicidal, and this isn't a video on that because those feelings are too big to unpack along with everything else. However, what I will say is we can often let our basic needs slip by when something that is traumatic as losing someone we care about. So it's easy to say, I'm feeling so depressed, and then you look back and you haven't had any water today, you haven't had a good meal in a week, you haven't seen the sun in a month. Like, there's no wonder you're feeling so bad. So even if you can't follow any of the steps in this video, at least try and meet 2 or 3 of your basic needs today and see how much better you feel. The tragic but beautiful thing about being a woman is that we have all or will go through this pain at some point in our lives. So having a community of women around me and supporting me when I'm feeling so heartbroken has been amazing. Straight away, me and my girls organise a night out where we can just dance and have fun. And then on a similar vein, a night in where I can just bawl my eyes out, and who cares if we scream and we vent and for one night we hate men. No one understands the amount of love we have to hold as women, like our fellow women. If you don't have a big community of friends, maybe your mum or your sister, or as I say, my DMs are always open, and I truly get how it feels to be hurt like this, so I'm always there to listen for you. But spending time in community, it's another one of our basic needs, is to have some sort of social interaction. Do not go through this alone. You may feel your feelings are embarrassing, they're not. However, just because you have so much love to give, do not date until you're ready, because not only is it not fair on them, it is not fair on you. How, when you're in the dregs of it, can you compare being in love with someone for years versus a first date? It's going to make you feel worse because you know you're not going to feel the same, and you're going to spin yourself this whole story and put them on this pedestal that no one's ever going to be as good as them. But you don't remember that your first date with them also wasn't so amazing. You miss all the memories, all the time. These things take time to build. Until you've healed from that a bit, this new person is never going to measure up. It's going to make you more likely to go back to your ex. It's going to make you resentful, and you might end up hurting someone else into the process. And what we don't want to do is bring more hurt into what already is a horrible thing to go through. We always talk about glow ups that he's going to see and he's going to regret. And if that's the reason you want to glow up now, fair enough. If it's the only thing motivating you, fair enough. It's better than not doing it at all. But once you can learn to pour into yourself and love yourself so much, set that standard so high that someone would have to be truly incredible to even be worth your time and energy, you are going to be in such an amazing place. Since I've come out here and made a new group of friends, I have been shocked at the amounts of times my friends have just said out of nowhere how elegant and feminine and I'm like a princess. It's just amazing. I feel like I'm radiating when I give love and confidence and just focus on myself, and a man doesn't even cross my mind. Honestly, the next man who steps into my life is going to have to provide so much to have me give up any of my precious energy, and it's exciting. Something physical I'm going to do today is going to get red nails. It's first of all Christmas, so obviously red, but also nothing makes me feel more sexy than red nails. Reclaiming your sexual energy after you feel like it's been diminished is so important, and that doesn't mean having sex. It can be just dancing or getting your hair done or getting your nails, something that makes you feel truly womanly. And just like this damsel in distress, you will just feel the energy shift and you will become so magnetic. I also like to regularly cleanse my space, my body, my mind when I'm going through a breakup. So doing an everything shower, shaving my whole body just for me, washing my hair, doing all my laundry, fresh bed sheets, hoovering everything, and obviously my mind by just brain dumping everything onto a page, meditating, burning incense, all the things to just make my mind, my body, my space rid of all the old energy, ready for the new energy. It feels so good. That being said, I don't want to make light of heartbreak because it is actually really hard, and I'm on here being brave, but I'm still having days that are not so easy, of course. It truly is a grieving process, and we don't talk about it enough. Losing someone who you cared about so deeply completely out of your life is not easy in any sense of the word. Just know that you are truly loved, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't believe me. I am here for you every step of the way. If you need any advice, feel free to drop a comment and I will do my absolute best to support you and give you my take, because I've been through a few breakups at this point and I think I'm getting the hang of it. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye guys.